Oh, good afternoon. It's now 4:47, and I got to be sorry. I've been lazing around, just watching the news. Nothing else to do. I was trying to figure out a way to put a map. I could do it on my phone, but I can't live stream from my phone, and until I get enough followers. I think I need 50 followers. Woo, 50 followers. So just press follow, subscribe, or whatever. I'll get to 50, then I can do stuff from my phone, maybe do more elaborate things. But as of now, I don't have access to a lot of features because I'm just a little teeny, weeny little minnow here swimming in Erbil, which is in the Kurdistan, the capital of the Kurdistan region of Iraq. We are blessed with a U.S. base at the airport. So our airport has been closed since the 28th, so almost a month. The base has been hammered multiple times. One time there were massive secondary explosions because apparently they hit an ammunition dump, probably a bunch of interceptors that they had sitting around waiting to load, and they got cooked off. So they're just getting hit. And my understanding is they've kind of run out of interceptors, and now they're relying on aircraft to intercept drones or missiles coming in. And also one of those guns that make a tremendous racket and scare everybody. And long and the short of it is that if you live anywhere close to the airport, there is a Christian neighborhood next to the airport called Ankawa, and that's right on the flight path from Iran. So a couple nights ago, a building in a complex called Lebanese Village, which is technically in the Ankawa subdistrict, got hit by a drone it looked like a drone because it blew up. It didn't look like, but it may have been knocked off course. But these are high rises, and they're on the way to the airport. So it's possible a drone was flying too low to clear them. Anyway, people I know who live in that area are constantly getting flyovers of drones. They're getting debris falling in their neighborhoods, falling on their cars, falling on their houses. Where I live is much further away. We're kind of in the flight path to the U.S. consulate, and there have been a couple incidents here where drones have been knocked down and debris, and my understanding is a couple people have died in this area as well. But Ankaras were a lot more. And of course, they've also targeted hotels because one of the things the Americans did is that they basically took everybody out of the bases, right? So, I believe it was a month ago, the 26th or the 27th, we all heard that the U.S. Embassy was evacuating all, quote, non-essential personnel. One of the results of that, well, they evacuated, and everybody else was like, something's going on. And the next day, they started bombing with this illegal war to cover up the Epstein files. Don't ever forget that. That is the primary motivation why we are at war with Iran, which is why I call it the Epstein Wars. Shaggy, get over here. You need to come here. Come on, Shaggy. Come on. Time to brush your teeth. That's part of the Shaggy. Come on. I got Lucy here, but I gotta bring Shaggy. Come on, Shaggy. Come on. There you go. Come on, you baby. Oh, fly. Oh, baby. Okay, Shaggy. Yeah, you're gonna show people at home how you brush your teeth. Oh, look at that. Anybody know what that is? Oh, there's Lucy. Hello, Lucy. I don't brush Lucy's teeth on camera because she's not quite as cooperative as Shaggy is. Shaggy's not terribly cooperative. So this is what's going on. Of course, the other thing the army did is that they evacuated most of the stuff from their bases, and I assume they have some stuff there to take care of the missiles and the what do you call them? Those the interceptors and the air defenses. But baby, oh come on! But a lot of them they moved to hotels and also maybe non-essential contractors. So they're all sitting in hotels, which suddenly makes the hotels a target. Now that's pretty brilliant because let's make civilian buildings a target. That's why the Iranians have been hitting some of these high-rise buildings. There's not the reason for the Lebanese village, I'm sure. Well, it could be. But just my advice to the wise, if you see army personnel moving into your neighborhood, move away, because the Iranians know about this stuff. You're in Iraq. Half of the Iraqi population is Shia, and even here in Kurdistan, they're going to have allies, or they're going to have people, and they're going to know what's going on a hell of a lot better than people like me, who, of course, the embassy never talks to, right? They never tell us what's going on. And if they tell us to move or get out or evacuate, they say, well, you can figure it out by yourself. The airport's closed, and the closest border that you can pass is Turkey, and that's like 2-3 hours drive. Well, I mean, okay, I could go to Turkey. I'm not, that doesn't really bother me. And obviously you can see I'm not terribly worried about being here. But, if you're going to tell people to evacuate because you've created a crisis situation, you should probably provide a little bit more help. And there are a lot of people who are freaked out, right? And that's all right, Shaggy. So Shaggy's so good. Such a good boy. He doesn't worry. He takes a devil-may-care attitude, don't you, Shaggy? He's more worried about thunderstorms and getting his walk in, which we're going to have to do pretty quick. And, of course, it's raining today, so we can't go on a proper walk. The other day I took him to the mall to walk, but unfortunately that mall kind of some debris fell on it. I think the day after I took them there for a walk. So I'm not as keen to do that. But mostly I'm not as keen because it's raining so hard and the roads here kind of get flooded a bit when that happens. Don't be Shaggy. And anyway, so this is real. People are dying. Civilians are dying. U.S. troops are dying. A lot of Iranians are dying. None of that is good. None of it makes any sense because, like I said, this is a war of convenience for Trump because he needed something to stop people talking about the Epstein file. And you know what? He's been very successful. I mean, he's met his goal. Put it that way. He's met his goal, right? Before the war started, all anybody could talk about was the Epstein files and why are these pedophiles being arrested and these, murderers or at least let's call them alleged murderers and pedophiles being arrested and being investigated. Something happening, and now nobody talks about that. They're all talking about, well, are we going to invade Iran? Are we going to drop bombs? Are we going to come here, baby? Come here. Oh, really bad. Oh, yeah, it's so annoying. But gotta get this plaque off your teeth. So I wish you would lick the toothpaste off before I get to put it on. There you go. Let's put it back there a little bit. This is a Sonic toothbrush. I should cover up the name so I don't advertise it because I'm not getting any money from these guys, although I should, right? Anyway, so we talked last today about whether or not they should have land troops in Iran. People are still talking about it, but I mean, realistically, come on, you can't invade a country with 10,000 troops. It's not. I mean, that would be maybe in Venezuela, sure, right? Maybe Grenada, sure. Right, Venezuela was very, what do you call it? open. Caracas was right on the ocean, on the beach. The presidential palace. They literally helicoptered in, grabbed him, pulled him out. He didn't even have time to put on clothes. I mean, he pulled him out literally, virtually. I shouldn't say literally, in his pajamas, more or less. So here, you know what? To get to Tehran, and I really wanted a map for this to show you, but tomorrow I'll get a map. Iran, if you remember the Lord of the Rings and the picture of Mordor, which is surrounded by mountains, and you have to take all these mountain passes and tunnels and caves to get in, and there are evil spiders and whatever, right? That's what Iran looks like. If you look at Iran on a map, it is literally a circle of mountains, and not just plain circle. I mean, it's 100 miles deep set of mountains, multiple ridges, right? Kurdistan, where I live in Iraq, is part of that mountain chain. We're connected to that mountain chain. And one of the reasons why Kurdistan could defend itself against Saddam Hussein to a certain extent is because of the same mountain ranges. You have to fight your way over every ridge. Right? And these are not small ridges. These are massive ridges, right? Massive mountain change. And there'll be a narrow road, or if you're lucky, maybe, well, if you're driving, a tunnel, right? And that's what Iran looks like. So you're literally going up and down hills through very narrow mountain paths, right? Before you get to the Central Valley, right? So, you're not going to do that with 10,000 troops. If you're thinking of landing at Kaj Island, I don't know how to pronounce that properly, even though I live here. You're talking about 10,000 Marines. The Kaj Island could be taken easily with 10,000 Marines, but not when you've got constantly being attacked with drones and maybe even artillery from the mainland, and you're sitting on basically an tanks